Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack the story of Adidas. A brand that's all about those three stripes, but also a wild story of sibling rivalry and just constant reinvention.
Seriously, the story of Adidas, it doesn't start in some fancy boardroom or a high-tech design studio. Nope. It all starts with a really bitter rivalry between two brothers, a fight that would literally change sportswear forever.
So, let's set the scene. We're in a small town in Bavaria, Germany. Two brothers, Adolf, everyone called him Adi, and Rudolf, or Rudy, Dassler. They start a shoe company together. And get this, they started right in their mom's laundry room. Their dream was simple, really, just make the best possible gear for athletes. So you can see here, things started out great. They founded the company in 24. Then, bam, Jesse Owens wins 4 gold medals in their shoes in 36, a huge win. But then, it all just falls apart. After World War II, the trust between the brothers was just gone. And in 1949, they split for good. It was so bad, it literally divided their entire town. You had to pick a side. Adi's new company, Adidas, or Rudy's, which became Puma. This local feud was basically the blueprint for the global sneaker war to come. All right, so now we're in the three-stripe empire era. After that massive split, Adi Dassler just doubled down. He was completely obsessed with his new company, Adidas. And his focus was laser sharp. Make athletes better. He truly believed that the right gear that could be the tiny difference between winning silver and taking home the gold. And you know what? For a very long time, he was absolutely right. From the Olympic track to the World Cup pitch, Adidas was the mark of a champion. It was the symbol of peak performance. Let's talk about this moment because it was huge. This is what put the Dassler brothers on the map. I mean, Adi himself drove to the Olympic Village to personally convince Jesse Owens to wear his shoes. And when Owens won and won and won again, it was this massive statement. It proved to the entire world that their innovations were the real deal. And this quote, this really gets to the heart of Adi's secret sauce. See, he wasn't just a shoemaker. He was a problem solver. He would literally sit down with athletes like Dick Fosbury and create a special shoe just for his takeoff foot so he could perfect that now famous Fosbury flop. That obsession with getting feedback directly from the source, that was everything. This right here, this is the moment Adidas became a household name, the 1954 World Cup final. People call it the Miracle in Bern. It was a super rainy day, the pitch was a mess, but the German team had these revolutionary Adidas boots with screw-in studs. They were lighter and they had way better grip. It gave them a huge advantage, and that win cemented Adidas as the brand for winners. Okay, so Adidas is on top of the sports world, right? But while all that's happening, a totally different kind of revolution is starting to bubble up, and it would end up redefining the brand's future in a place that had nothing to do with a field or a track. Yeah, the brand's future wasn't going to be decided on the track. There was this huge cultural shift happening over to America, all driven by a new kind of music. In Adidas, this brand with deep European roots and pure athletic performance, well, it was about to find itself smack dab in the middle of it all. It would be decided on the stage. And I mean that literally. We're talking about a concert stage in front of like 40,000 screaming fans, where a group of artists would hold up their Adidas sneakers and completely change marketing history forever. And here it is, Run DMC 1986. Now the amazing part is, this wasn't some planned endorsement. The group just loved their Adidas superstars so much they wrote a whole song about them. And an Adidas employee happened to be at a concert, saw them tell the whole arena to hold up their three-striped shoes, and you can just imagine the light bulb going off. This led to the first ever partnership between a sports brand and musicians. The line between sportswear and streetwear? It was officially blurred. So Adidas is now the king of street culture. But just as they're enjoying that, a new challenger enters the ring. A rival from America comes storming onto the scene, and they're brash, they're rebellious, and their strategy is completely different. And this really shows you the clash of philosophies. On one side, you have Adidas, all about heritage, performance, European roots, and focusing on the team. On the other side, Nike, American flash, rebellion, marketing genius, and they put all their chips on one guy, the individual superstar, Michael Jordan. And wow, look at this number. Over 400,000 pairs of Air Jordan 1 sold in the first month alone. Nike was hoping to sell maybe 100,000 for the entire year. This just shows you the sheer power of the Jordan effect. The partnership with Michael Jordan wasn't just a shoe deal. It was a cultural phenomenon. Suddenly, it was about aspiration, about style, about wanting to be like Mike.
And the pressure on Adidas was immense. So immense, in fact, that by 1992, they posted a record loss that brought the company terrifyingly close to bankruptcy. While Nike was flying high, Adidas was really struggling to find its place in this new, marketing-first world. It was a full-blown existential crisis.
So how did Adidas fight back? Well, instead of just trying to copy Nike, instead of trying to outnight Nike, they did something smarter. They looked inward. They dug deep to rediscover what made them great in the first place. And they used that to craft a comeback that would totally redefine the brand. In their comeback plan, it can really be broken down into these 3 simple but powerful steps. First, embrace their heritage. Second, drive innovation. And third, master collaboration. It was all about using their past as a strength while pushing the boundaries of tech and culture.
And here's how they actually did it. For heritage, they launched Adidas Originals, taking classics like the Samba and the Stan Smith and turning them into global fashion must-haves. For innovation, they introduced game-changing tech like Boost cushioning, which gave you this incredible energy return. And for collaboration, they teamed up with fashion giants like Yohji Yamamoto for Y3 and even Gucci. Brilliant. And this quote from the CEO, Bjorn Gulden, just says it all. He's talking about the Samba. Think about that. A shoe from the 50s becomes the hottest sneaker of 2023. It's the ultimate proof that their heritage strategy was a massive success. It showed that authenticity and history could absolutely win in the modern market. So it kind of leaves you with this question, right? In a world that is obsessed with the new, can a brand's greatest strength actually be its own history? The incredible story of Adidas, from a family feud in a laundry room all the way to a triumphant global comeback, it really suggests that sometimes the most powerful way to move forward is to take a good long look back.